Hey everybody, welcome to episode 21 of the VHS Bandits. This week we watched Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Let's pop in the tape.
He comes from a place beyond the stars to take them to a world beyond their dreams. From his soul comes the music. From his heart comes the beat. Now, from the imagination of Michael Jackson comes a movie like no other. Jackson. Nothing could prepare you for his movie. Moonwalker. It's written in the stars. And now, our feature presentation.
Hey everybody, welcome again to episode 21 of the VHS Bandits. This week we watched Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. As always, I am the Kevbot, and with me is...
Dane Train.
And...
Belfer Hansen.
What's happening, guys? How you doing?
Woo!
Good.
Hee.
Except I can't hear you, but hopefully you're recording.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It looks like it. We'll just, take the leap of faith here and hopefully...
We'll just have you ADR the entire episode later.
I don't know what that means, but totally. Let's
It means
do
you're going
it.
to re-record everything
okay.
you say right now.
So I'm going to have to memorize everything I say. Memorize everything I say.
I'm just going to take these off.
You know what's
Not
funny?
going to do anything for me.
Sometimes I'll re-listen to this podcast and I hear myself burping.
Burp and fart.
And I'm like, oh man, that's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, last episode was like, you were heavy on the gas, man.
Well, dude, you saw what I ate.
That's true. Before we get into the movie, why don't we talk about what we ate?
Let's talk about what we were talking about right before we started recording.
No. We don't have to get into that. But we can talk about what we ate. We got McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDougal's.
Yeah, we went down to good old McNoo-Noos.
Yeah. And Dane Train did not get as much as he normally does.
I had a late lunch, so I wasn't super hungry. I went with my old man. We went to Pickle House in Northborough and got some
The fuck
sandwiches.
is Pickle House?
It's a sandwich joint.
Yeah, it's right
It's like
across
the-
from Nikki D's, the donut place.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's on
Yeah,
Route 20.
Route 20.
Pickle.
Route 20 in Northborough.
Yeah. And anywho, I know now. Okay, it's still December as the time that we're recording this, and
Happy New Year, guys, I think.
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
probably.
hey, Happy New Year. So this is probably gonna be our last one of 27. Actually, well, no,
No, it'll be
This
the
will-
first one of 2017.
Right.
This is the last
This is the last
one
one
we're
we
recording
record.
in 2016.
It's a time warp.
And
So, hello, future selves.
so
Trust this guy, Rufus.
Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water.
Soylent Green is people.
You were saying something about pickle houses?
just drink lots of soda like me.
Hey,
Pickle House. Pickle
good for
House.
Kev's got soda
House.
tonight too. So
I do.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the one that had the
All right. So
holiday.
I had holiday
buttermilk
treats.
Shake.
Yeah.
No, he liked the shake.
Clearly, he's
I-
going off the walls.
I had
Sugar Rush.
I had an eggnog shake and these two little holiday pies. The holiday pies sucked. The eggnog shake is great. So if you listen to this and McDonald's still has the eggnog shake, it's good. You should get it.
If you need a second opinion, watch Dane Train's Lousy Food Review.
Yeah, that'll
It's
be
the
up.
same exact opinion because it's Dane's opinion.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear him say it
If you
in
just wanna
different
watch-
sentences,
Yeah,
watch him say those words.
you can watch me eat it in real time.
Yeah.
That'll be
he usually charges for that on cam to
does.
cam.
Yeah,
Dane.
yeah, through Bitcoin.
I just wait until someone else posts it on another site. But that's not neither here nor there.
Yeah, you got to find it on RedTube later.
Yeah.
So,
he-
what are we
he
talking
got
about?
those.
Sorry, we
And,
had technical difficulties, and I'm a little out of it because the microphones were fucking up. But we
And-
watched Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and this is the most bananas movie I think we've ever watched on the show.
It's pretty out there.
We went to Savers last Sunday, and if you go up on an Instagram page, hashtag VHS Bandits, you can find all the pictures that we took of our sweet Savers misadventure. So,
I wasn't there, by the way.
oh yeah, he wasn't.
We
there.
invited you.
I know.
You were busy.
I was busy. And look what I missed out on.
Yeah.
An adventure to Savers.
Duh.
Yeah, bootleg face-off tapes and whatnot.
Yeah, and the Prince and the Surfer,
Yep.
lots of good stuff. So,
And those are all things you have told me about.
this bad boy tape had to be picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's got a nice
yeah.
scuff mark on the edge. It's been ripped off. Like, there was probably a price tag. Someone tried to take it off, but it ripped off half of the box with it.
yeah, it's kind of flimsy. There's a nice big chunk on the other side too that's missing. Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing's really falling apart. This box.
Someone really loved this tape. Or hated it. I
Yeah.
can't tell.
I could not tell you which one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the dog chewed it up. I don't know.
What's this movie about?
Okay, so
Does anybody know?
Michael
Will
Jackson?
that question be answered? I don't think so.
We're about to have that discussion.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson
This
versus Joe Pesci.
This
Or
is
by
less of a
discussion,
review,
we
more of
mean
a
debate.
round table. Discussion. This is like a.
So on the cover, you got Michael Jackson in his smooth criminal outfit, and then
And he's still like kind of black at this point.
yeah, his face is floating in outer space.
He's like
on the
halfway
right-hand
there.
side.
He's got the face surgery.
This is the pinnacle of Michael Jackson's career.
Right.
Yes.
This is like...
Shut the fuck up, Siri.
Siri, what do you think of Michael Jackson Moonwalker?
Wait, what?
No.
Why did your phone even turn on? You weren't even touching it.
It does
All right.
look like that's it,
Siri
Siri.
tried
iPhone.
to get me plastic surgery. Thanks,
Ugh.
Siri.
Boy,
You're gonna have to
this
quite the look
podcast
at
is off to a
yourself.
great
Oh,
start.
God.
Anywho,
Because we were talking about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Maybe he's trying to communicate to us from beyond via Siri.
Yeah.
Probably not.
with this sweet,
Don't review my movie and also
What's the
get
weather,
plastic
Michael
surgery.
Jackson? You might need a jacket.
so he's got a vertical rainbow, not like a regular one. That
So it's not a bow. It's
It's
just
kinda
a
like-
rain.
vertical rain,
Vertical rain?
color.
It's like Tron, except with Michael Jackson and a rainbow instead of like a neon blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remember Tron, right?
Oh hell
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Then
There's
you-
multiple Michael Jacksons on the cover, which is weird.
yeah. Technically, there's 3 of them because you have him pointing up to the sky. You have his big floating head in space, and then you have him when he transforms into a spaceship.
Yes, he transforms into a spaceship. You heard that correctly.
He transforms
Whoa.
into more than that.
Whoa, guys. A spaceship? A human transforms into a spaceship?
That's right. A
betcha.
human named Michael Jackson. I use that word human loosely, but Michael Jackson turns into a spaceship.
That's unbelievable.
Let me explain how. I have no fucking clue.
He's a transformer.
Yeah.
Let me make one thing
He's
clear.
If he can transform
He's an
himself into a
anamorphic
completely
transformer.
different person, he might as well transform into a
yeah,
spaceship.
he's an anamorph, but he anamorphs into
Anamorph.
he anamorphs
Yeah.
into a
Instead
killer
of a
robot
terrible series of books, a
Yeah.
robot and a
and a spaceship
Ferrari
and
that
a
shoots
car.
lasers.
And in
Yeah.
another music video, he turns into a tiger, a leopard. No.
yeah, I thought that
a
was in this,
jaguar.
but it's not.
He turns into some type of ferocious feline. Meow. Cat person.
Does the back even have a description?
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to make clear is now this movie's called Moonwalker. Okay, I'm assuming that's based off of his smooth move, the moonwalk. But there is no actual moonwalking or going on.
Yeah, he doesn't go to the fucking moon.
No
there was a
moons.
shot of the moon. I was like, he's gonna go to the moon. He didn't go.
Yeah, it's
It
kinda
just
like-
pans down to these like dirty homeless kids.
He just had a great Christopher Walken moment. He was like, "Go to the moon." He didn't go.
He wants to go to the moon, but he never goes.
What is up with that?
Well, like, because the whole time watching, so we're like, all right, he's going to the moon. He doesn't go to the moon. All right, now.
It was like a very Star Wars-esque, like, you know, the opening in most Star Wars movies where it's like fixed on a planet and then
Yeah.
it kind of pans. It was that kind of thing where it's like the moon and you're
Except
like,
it
we're
pans
going to the moon.
all the way back to
Yeah.
like London.
His
in
music
1930.
video or some weird shit. I couldn't even tell you the timeline of this movie.
There is none.
Oh, God.
There's 3 little
He
orphans.
also turns into Pee Wee Herman.
He does. And construction worker Steven Stallone. Steven Stallone, that's right.
Sylvester's
Sylvester
lesser
Stallone.
known brother,
Yeah.
the construction
The
worker.
third Stallone brother.
So, so this is the back of the box. There's no pictures on the back of the box. It's
No
just a lot of
pictures.
text. It says, "Prepare yourself for an adventure unlike any you have ever seen or heard. A magical, musical journey into the world of Michael Jackson. Moonwalker is a feature-length extravaganza that will take you to the next dimension of special effects and thrill you with the most spectacular song and dance productions ever filmed. The story is told in the form of an anthology of never-before-seen film segments that visualize Michael's music in dazzling new ways. Or in other words, rehashing a whole bunch of his music videos
Yeah.
and putting them into a compilation.
The first half hour was just straight music videos.
Well, not even. It was like 45 seconds of like 100 music videos. They never played a full song until
see the
Smooth
box?
Criminal. I think Smooth Criminal is the only fucking full song. Or like Highway Patroller or whatever when he was the rabbit. I think that was a song, but you couldn't really hear it.
Yeah, you couldn't. This description, though, the one you just read, Dane Train, does read like a wrestler's like interview or something.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself for an adventure unlike any you have ever seen or heard. Yeah. It's just really funny. Yeah, Moonwalker, man.
So each song has a
Each 45-second song
each song
has a fever dream
description.
associated with it.
So let's say you're talking about his song "Man in the Mirror." Okay, it's so
That's
this
the first
segment
song.
It's a multi.
That's actually a live performance.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
multi.
with people dying in the crowd.
Yeah, and it's sponsored by Pepsi.
yeah.
Yep. And it's actually
Everyone in the audience has big
This
chugs
isn't-
of Pepsi.
This isn't just a live gig. This is a multi-image live performance spectacle
Multi-image?
where you
What the
see a
fuck does that
bunch
mean?
of women go, "Oh my god!" and like security have to pull them out because
I need more Pepsi to quench my
Yeah.
Michael Jackson thirst.
because it's the choice of a new generation.
That's right.
And they're all passing out. And then you got a retrospective of 24 years of hits, a kaleidoscope montage of Michael's evolution as a performing
That's what it was
artist.
supposed to be?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
From
that
his
was
first
weird. I thought I
moments
took
on stage
drugs.
right up to the present
well,
day.
you did, but we also watched that.
That's true.
And then we got Bad, but it's called Badder. A lighthearted new version.
With little kids.
The stunning Bad
How do we
clip.
make this music video even more bad? Why don't we make every character a little kid
With mustaches and 5 o'clock shadows.
and skimpy little clothing?
Yeah, they look like the
Michael Jackson loved that.
like the tiny village people, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like if the
They were
village
just
people
missing the
had a
Native
Saturday
American.
morning cartoon.
Yeah.
It would be this music.
And it would be
thing.
so cute. What?
Disagree. That would be frightening. Because this was frightening.
So as we talked about, a good chunk of this movie is basically sort of like
Pile of shit.
Well, it's,
Music videos.
It's music videos and sort of showing the career of Michael Jackson.
And like all of his like showing him on like Time magazine and People magazine and like all of his like
Life
Michael Jackson's so
magazine,
great. Michael
hanging
Jackson's
out
so
with
cool.
E.T., hanging out with the Jackson 5.
And the Elephant Man bones are in it too.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
So
That was one of the fever dreams.
if you wanted to figure out what the story of the second half of the movie is, which is kind of like, I don't know, there's like a story, I guess.
Kinda.
It's the smooth criminal section, okay? So the back of the box basically tells you everything that you need to know, so you don't even have to watch it, okay? The centerpiece of the entire film is based on a story by Michael Jackson in which he plays a superhero who pits himself and all his powers against the evil Mr. Big, also known as Joe Pesci.
His name's not Mr. Big.
Not the band Mr. Big.
And it sounds like
Do they
you're...
ever address his name?
Yeah.
Really?
They spell it.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
spells it for
No,
you.
wait a minute. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Libby. I mean, I had it.
No,
It's
wait a
like
minute.
Frankie
Oh,
Lababo.
La Bamba.
DeLeo. You know why?
Why?
Because on the back of the box says the executive producer of Michael Jackson and Frank DeLeo.
Okay, maybe it's
Because
him.
didn't he say his name was Frank DeLeo in
Frank Dildo.
in the
something
movie?
like
I
that.
thought it was,
Leto. It was
Yeah.
Jared Leto. I don't know.
yeah, I thought it began with an L.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Or maybe
It's
it was
in-
Ladeo.
He-
I don't
well,
know.
Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah.
Ladeo. Because
You
I
know
was
what it
like,
is?
Lido,
It's
Ladeo.
It's
Oh,
Frank
okay.
DeLeo, but the D and the L is swapped.
I'm sure we're just gonna refer to him as Joe Pesci Space Drug.
Drug
Dealer.
Bug Buster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
man.
Drug
where's
Bug
Joe
Buster would
Pesci
be Michael
is
Jackson.
the evil guy from I Come in Peace.
Where is
basically.
Lorenzo Lamas in Speedboat when you need him?
Seriously.
Yeah,
Plus
he
those
should
drug
team
bugs.
up with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
This. Oh my God! This is Snake Eater 2: The Drug Buster meets I Come in Peace.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
man.
With Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Very
Wow,
true.
This puts a whole
It's
new
all coming
spin on
together.
this movie.
I know.
So
There were no scenes in.
And Drug Buster that weren't in this movie.
No, I was gonna say in an air duct. In
Ah,
like
Pizza
I'm
Man.
surprised.
Me too. This movie had everything else.
Yeah, literally.
So
Monkeys, orphans, Elephant Man
Man,
bones.
we're on a real Orphan run.
Yeah.
Santa with Muscles, orphans. All the Muppets are orphans.
Yeah.
And now this is 3 weird homeless orphans hanging out with Michael Jackson.
You know, when we post a new episode, I just like to listen through the episode once just to make sure.
Make
you
sure
know,
that
it's-
your microphone doesn't get shut
Yes,
off in the middle of
exactly.
it.
Much like this one, I probably will. But man, we really got into conspiracy theories about Muppets.
Man, I got some shit to say
I
about
know
the
you
Muppets.
do. We should get a whole nother episode.
I'm
just
into
to that.
it. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, we got to put a couple more sodas into you before we do that.
Oh, look who's talking, Mr. Holiday Shake. You're going nuts earlier.
Here's the difference. I had one.
Yeah, and it was enough to put you over the deep end.
he's a lightweight.
So the back of the box basically tells you the entire story, literally like scene for scene. So you don't even have to watch the movie.
I don't even think that's possible.
Well, let's see. Let's
Yeah,
see.
give it a
Mr.
whirl.
Big, who was attempting to take over the world by getting kids hooked on drugs. In the course of the battle, Michael transforms himself into a robot and then a spaceship that destroys the forces of evil and then vanishes into the heavens, only to return later as Michael for a performance. We just heard a big bang downstairs.
I'm going to go check on
We
that.
don't
You
know
guys
what that
can
is.
Continue.
So, all right. Whoa, and now everything's tumbling down.
This whole episode is turning into a huge disaster.
Man, seriously.
2016 doesn't want us to leave.
I think there's a serious curse going on here.
I think so too.
Jeez Louise, I don't know about this. But okay, so that literally just described the entire movie.
Yeah,
It
kind
tells
of
you everything that just happened.
Well, I mean, no. Yeah. Okay.
At least the,
Let
at
me
least the
say all
second
those
half of the movie,
things.
because it basically tells you, it's like, usually on the back of a box it'd be like, will Michael Jackson defeat the forces of evil? No, it tells you right here.
Will Moonwalker defeat Mr. Big?
He turns into a spaceship and then destroys the forces of evil. So they tell you what happens in the movie on
yeah.
the box.
They don't mention the 3 children though,
They don't talk about the children,
which don't
Okay.
really have much of a point in the movie. They just kind of run around. Joe Pesci does kidnap the orphan girl at one point, just to kind of lure Michael into an open space, but also to get her hooked on drugs.
Yeah.
And this was a little upsetting. Maybe not. Maybe upsetting's not the right word. Joe Pesci hits this little girl a few times.
Like a lot.
Yeah. Like,
It's kind of hard to watch.
yeah, it is. I would rather watch him like actually inject her with drugs. No, I wouldn't want to watch that either.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Joe Pesci interact with little kids unless it's Kevin McAllister and he's smashing them with paint cans or making them step on broken Christmas tree ornaments.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't think of any other movie where Joe Pesci interacts with children.
I can't think of any. I don't think he does in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Or any,
if you can think of any movies that Joe Pesci interacts with young children, email us at
Let us know.
VHS Bandits or send us a message on Facebook or post a picture of the movie and tag us on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're very interested.
So I guess we should start from the beginning, I guess.
We probably don't have to go through all the music videos and montages because that's just kind of music and montages.
Yeah. So the first half of the movie is just music and montages. That's
it is. How does it say how long it is?
Nope.
No.
It says 1998.
It was pretty long. Hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Did anyone die?
No.
Did Michael Jackson robot Mecha Michael show up?
Oh God, I wish
Mecha Jackson.
he would have known what to do. No, the cat knocked over a big glass object.
Oh.
Wait, there's
big
a
glass
cat in the
shattered all
house?
over the place.
Uh-oh. Big glass.
Womp womp. Big
You know what that is? Big Bad.
Big Bad.
It was.
It was Big Bad.
What'd I miss, guys?
Can you think of any Joe Pesci movies other than Home Alone where he interacts with children? Because it was hard to watch him
Hit a child in the
yes.
face? Where he interacts with children. I think in like Goodfellas, he's at like a family party, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
He talks to his mom. She's old, kind of like a child, but in reverse.
Kind of. Not really.
He's done other kids movies, hasn't he?
I have no clue.
I don't think so.
I could look it up, but I don't want to.
Yeah. I guess that's a no.
Yeah.
Someone out there must know, though.
It's
not me.
So the first half of the movie, I feel like, I mean, I didn't like officially time it or anything, but we watched probably like
16 hours.
Yeah, probably an hour and 15, maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This thing was that long?
Yep.
How long is this movie? 90 minutes?
It doesn't say.
Oh, it's on the actual tape. I think it said like 94 minutes.
That's
It's still in the VCR.
That's
Yeah,
on
whatever.
VCR. I'll just IMDb it. All right.
But yeah, I would say maybe
It's like super warm in here.
an hour. Do you want me to turn down the heat?
I just did, what do you
Princess.
guys
Keep your clothes on, Dane Train.
think?
It's an hour and 33 minutes.
It is like really warm in here.
Hour.
Jeez
You're just
Louise.
getting too worked up.
Calm down. Oh, put your clothes back on. Dane.
Oh my.
Dane.
Oh my
Put your
goodness.
pants on.
Goodness.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Jeez.
One of
Oh,
the
I don't need to
one
see
of the
that.
little kids.
They call you Dane Train for a
Hey.
reason.
There's three little orphan kids.
Yeah.
One of them is Sean Lennon, who's the son of John Lennon.
Oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because there was also in the beginning in the Fever Dream there was
John Lennon.
Yeah, there's John Lennon and like which is funny because Michael Jackson bought all the rights to the Beatles anthology, all of their music.
That's right.
And like would not let fucking the Beatles do anything with their own songs.
Yeah. Oh, and the second orphan kid who played little Michael Jackson in the video, I knew he was in other stuff. He was in The Mighty Ducks, the first one,
Oh.
and The Sandlot.
What?
Yeah.
Who was he in the Sandlot?
He was the pitcher. He was Kenny De Nunez.
Oh.
Yes.
I'll have to go back to. He must have been a lot younger here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this was 1988, I think.
Yeah, and Sandlot was 93?
Oh yeah.
94? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Good movie. Good movie. So how does the Moonwalker or Smooth Criminal part, I guess you should say, once we get past all the weird videos that are just
Are we not talking about
Weird.
the weird videos?
The only part I wanted to touch upon is when he's doing his first song and all the girls are passing out and this, that. They cut to these little like split-second shots of like Gandhi
Yeah.
and Martin Luther King and all that stuff. I'm
And the
like,
song's "The Man in the Mirror." So is he trying to be like, "Yo, I'm Gandhi, guys"? Is this like a Kanye
I think
West
it's
moment?
like,
Yeah,
take a look
right?
at yourself. Who are you?
Are you Gandhi?
Are you
or are you
Gandhi?
Ronald Reagan? Or are you John Lennon?
Or are you a nuclear explosion?
yeah.
Oh yeah, there was one of
Or
those.
are you a lady with a big gulp of Pepsi?
Could be.
Most likely you are.
Because you're probably thirsty for some Pepsi.
And you're a
This episode is
You're the new
unofficially
generation.
sponsored by Pepsi.
Pepsi.
We drink it.
That's what you do with Pepsi.
Unlike
Cola?
that other
No.
shit, Coke.
Tui.
All other episodes are unofficially sponsored by Coca-Cola products.
What about the? Is there anything else you want to talk about that weird thing?
The next video is
That was like then it went into the magazines and
where it's
stuff.
it's like a higher tech
5.
version of like the Monty Python kind of animation stuff,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's like weird and doesn't make any sense.
It's
you
like
said
the
like Peter
opener.
Gabriel, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Gabriel videos, and then yeah. You got a lot of like TVs with Jackson 5 on it.
Oh yeah, and then this is such a
Oh wait, that
teaser.
that one's where it's just like panning through it. It's like if you were going through an exhibit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about the one where he's in
It
the
all blends together.
rocket ship and he's driving around and there's like an amusement park that's built on a giant
that's-
size version of
that's
his body.
after this part.
I can't keep them all together. It's
No,
just-
nobody
Yeah, they all
can.
kind
It's
of
just
blend
weird.
in.
Because at the end of the masturbatory, like Michael Jackson's the best person in the world bit, it's playing the Jackson 5 on an old TV, and then the TV turns into a rocket ship. It like turns into a spaceship and starts flying into space. So I'm like, okay, now we're going into
with a
space.
trail
We're going
of
to the
keyboard
moon.
keys.
Yeah, and then it just turns into a different TV and never goes to space.
Yeah.
And then
We
he
never
ends up
go to
in
space in this movie.
I know.
There's
he
no
never walked
moons.
on the goddamn moon. I don't even think he did the moonwalk in this.
I don't even know why he's
Yeah,
called
he did some
Moonwalker.
moonwalking.
Did he?
Oh yeah, he did his fair share of moonwalking.
Okay, all right.
I
I'm getting
pointed
ahead
out
of
some
myself.
moonwalking.
All right.
That's true.
And
I
then they
remember
go to no. Then it's even before the like crazy carnival. He's on the studio lot.
Oh, the one where he's
getting chased by
that one's so
creepy
weird too.
claymation. Like
So like the first good half of the movie is him just running away from people.
yeah.
But either whether he's
Weirdly
running away
enough,
from
the
himself.
second half of it,
Paparazzis.
he's doing that too, except instead of people, it's Joe Pesci and guns.
Oh yeah, yeah.
1994
and
Nazis.
his army.
Yeah,
So Joe Pesci army.
space Nazis. But this one, it's like he's running away from people on a movie lot, and he bumps into he runs into a Western set, and animated Steven Spielberg turns into like some crazy lizard guy. And
He's a
the two
reptilian
people in the Illuminati, you know.
Yep.
The two cowboys are pissed off, and then they start chasing him. But the weird thing is, it goes back and forth between like live action and claymation. So like if people are running, they're just people who have these massive,
Big weird.
these
heads.
big fake heads, and
It's like DK mode.
Exactly.
For
But then
claymation
when they
people.
show like they have to talk or something like that, it's the actual claymation.
And it does not look great.
No, it's not. It's
It's
not
like
very
if
good.
you left the California raisins out in the sun and they weren't already raisins. You know what I
I
mean?
was gonna say that's
it's kind
raisins.
of like their gig, but
Yeah.
the clay ones.
Yeah, I get.
Then
yeah.
they like started melting and like
and
got
anytime
really
anyone got really mean, they turned into like demons.
yeah.
So he's getting chased by like all these weird people, including two fat guys on mopeds or motorized scooters.
Yeah, they
'cause
remind
they're so
me
fat.
of the two fat kids from Nothing But Trouble. The ones that are like always trying to eat cereal. Okay, moving on.
Bobo and Little Devil.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that?
Can't tell you the last time I saw it.
Oh, man.
All I
That's
remember
alright.
is Tupac and Humpty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's not
The
enough
only good
Tupac and
part.
Humpty in this movie.
So he runs into a dressing room and he
Yeah.
finds a rabbit costume, and that's when he becomes clay animation, and he's just running away from the people. It's like paparazzi and like a
Cowboys.
kid and his grandmother, the cowboys.
And then fat guys on Walmart scooters.
Yep. So like he's driving away at 10,000 miles an hour.
As a rabbit.
He's on a bicycle, then his bicycle transforms into a motorcycle.
And then the motorcycle turns into a jet ski.
Yeah.
And then a
And the-
jetpack. And then
That's when he loses the fat guys because they can go. Their Walmart scooters went on the water,
so they can also turn into
and that's
jet
when the
skis.
grandma and her grandson drowned or something.
And he keeps trying to like change into things like Pee Wee Herman to get them off his tail.
Yeah. But he really just like spins around in a circle, and like he's Pee Wee Herman, and then he's a lobster or whatever else he turns into, and it doesn't really. It only lasts for like 1 second. I don't remember why he did it.
To like just to like freak him out. Like
Or he
turned
was,
into
like,
a
fucking
police
with them?
officer. Yeah. Like one time he turned into a police officer and wrote
Oh, right.
them
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what's the word? Tickets. Speeding tickets, stuff like that. And then there was another one where he was a construction worker being like, you got to go that way. And then, goes the opposite way or whatever. But every time, like, he would get chased by someone and then someone else would show up. And it's like more of a Mad Maxian
like
vehicle
Rat Race.
where it's just like, all right, now they've got like a slightly bigger, kind of crazier looking vehicle. And in the end, it's like they're all on this one gigantic vehicle.
The Megazord of terrible claymation.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Then that leads to him as the claymation bunny in the desert,
Yeah.
which was
And-
just like a bad backdrop. You could see like you could see
it looks
the
like an
lines
Acme
and-
car, like the Roadrunner cartoon type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it
he
just looks
takes
like
off the bunny costume, and then the bunny costume comes to life, and they dance until a police officer shows up, and there's a sign saying no dancing.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty great.
And that's that
And he gets
one.
a ticket.
And he gets a ticket.
And they're like this is like one of the only times Michael Jackson speaks in the entire movie. He's just like, "Oh, but I was dancing and this giant rabbit over here, and then there was a rabbit, but he's gone now. Oh no, I have a ticket. Okay, goodbye."
And the rabbit becomes a big rock.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yet another
Seriously,
fever
who
dream.
comes up with this stuff? Even like at the end, it's like based on a story by Michael Jackson. I'm like, was he just like writing this down and be like, okay, so rabbit costume, clay, dance with rabbit costume, he disappears and turns into a giant rock. No dancing. Like, who comes up with this stuff?
Joe Pesci with spiders.
Yeah.
It must be
Rescuing
either
little
like
kids going to a hidden temple.
a dream journal or like some
Hogan
like
shows-
strange like hippy dippy drug retreat getaway.
Who knows? We can't ask him.
This whole movie's like a game of telephone. I think that's
Yeah.
how they wrote the
Yeah.
script.
It was probably a really amazing concept at first, and it just got so passed down through like, what? Rabbits?
Yeah, it's just a purple monkey
All
dishwasher
right.
movie.
Yeah. So when we start on Smooth Criminal, I can't even tell you all the things that happen in that.
How
It's
does he
like-
get there? He's chased by them. I think he turns into the car and then gets chased into the 1930s club. Oh, no, because he has to play soccer with the kids, but nobody's playing soccer
It's
correctly.
a flashback. That was a flashback.
That was a flashback.
That's how we meet Joe Pesci.
I thought they literally walked through one world into the next.
that would make more sense. I don't even
Well,
know
right
how they
before
got to that part.
they had that music video that looked like the opener to "You Can't Do That on Television."
Yeah.
And
What?
remember that he's like on like a weird roller coaster, and then he gets giant and he breaks the roller coaster.
Yeah, that's where he's dancing with the Elephant Man bones.
Yeah.
But that was before
Yeah.
the rabbit, I thought, or no?
No, that was
that
right
was
after the
after.
rabbit.
Oh.
And then right after that, it goes into like this.
But he got chased by Joe. How do we go into that part? It's just like
Nobody
smoky,
knows.
Smoky 1920s,
Yeah.
late,
So as soon
late
as the music video
1890s, early 1900s London,
yeah.
and Joe Pesci, who's like
Selling space drugs.
a postmodern Nazi, we'll just call it that, because he's like an evil villain and he has stormtroopers.
He's, he reminds me of, is it Dieter from Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Mike Myers character.
Right, yeah. He's kind of like him, except he's just fucking Joe Pesci. He just looks like
Yeah,
him.
he does.
And he has one of those weird, like, samurai, like, pointing towards the sky ponytail
yeah.
things. I don't know what it is.
And he just wants everyone to take drugs. He just wants to sell everyone drugs.
You know how we know that? Because he tells us.
Yeah, he says that exact phrase. I just want everyone to use drugs. Maybe not that exact.
No, I think that is the exact quotation.
be.
He's looking at like a globe with spiders on it.
He's
Bugs
like,
and
we need
drugs.
more in the
Bugs and
Midwest.
drugs.
More
Yeah.
drugs in the Midwest.
And he's not even. There's nobody around.
No.
So, because he goes like, I want you around the schoolyard. I want you at the playground. I want the kids to start using my drugs when they're young. And that's what I'm like, who's he talking to?
And then he can control the world if he has the entire population on his drugs.
Right. Note to self. Get more drugs on playground.
Yeah, we got to make that happen, guys.
Also-
Sign the petition, bandits. More drugs on playgrounds.
Also, reschedule Tuesday's tennis
Details in the
appointment.
description.
Disclaimer,
and more
we don't
spiders
actually
for some
want you
reasons.
to take drugs.
Yeah, don't do that.
He wants
Please don't.
tarantulas on everything.
Yes. He has
Hey,
tarantulas
put some
on
more
everything.
tarantulas on there.
You didn't order your cheeseburger with tarantulas? There's tarantulas on there.
That's what happens
Yeah,
to
he
me.
must work for McDonald's.
When I go to bed. Yeah, I didn't talk about this last time. So we went to Savers, and so afterwards we're gonna watch some of our bad movies that we got at Savers. We go to McDonald's, and I'm like, hey, all right, I want a quarter pounder with cheese, just the cheese. All right, I don't want any ketchup, no mustard, no onions, pickles, lettuce, tomato. I don't want any of that bologna. I want some meat with some cheese and bun. So
Dane Train, what did they put on your burger?
You know, man,
I can't imagine
I get my
it not
box,
being anything
and you know
other
how
than
like
what you
when
ordered.
you get a burger there, and the box actually says like what it is in it, and it's a slip says quarter pounder with cheese, only cheese, and the only is in all caps. Okay. Well, guess what? They must have done all caps edit because I opened the box. Gosh darn it! It is a quarter pounder with all that other crap in it and no cheese.
Bum, bum, bum.
And now you got the soggy bun.
Stupid McDonald's on Lincoln Street in Worcester. Stupid McDonald's.
Dane Train's never going there to get his
Like
eggnog shake again.
A kid that they forgot to put the toy in the
I'm not
box.
going there ever again.
Mom, go back to
I didn't want the blue Power Ranger.
I got the girl's toy.
They didn't give me cheese.
I want the Hot Wheels to give me Barbie.
They didn't give me cheese. But they give me everything else. Lo and behold, I was pissed.
Low and behold.
As you should be.
Yeah.
They did not make it your way.
No.
Joe Pesci must have got to him.
They made it Joe Pesci's way.
They did. With tarantulas.
Yeah,
Drugs.
the tarantulas. I wanted only cheese. No, I got tarantulas. And no cheese.
Like 100 tarantulas.
Yeah. That I had to wipe off. But the taste was still in the bun because it soaked up the tarantula taste.
So Joe Pesci hates Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Because
he
Michael
hates him.
Jackson, yeah.
Can't stand
And
the
most of this movie is Joe Pesci chasing down Michael Jackson and his
And Michael
stormtroopers
Jackson
shooting at him.
Gunning down people with a Tommy gun.
And
Yes.
again,
So
more
then
Michael
he-
Jackson running away from
all the
people.
while
Yeah.
children are present.
So they finally corner him in the first encounter when he's running away from him, and he turns into this crazy futuristic car.
It's like his first transformation.
Yeah. And not drives out of there.
But he
flies out of there.
He runs for like 5 minutes as a person.
Yeah,
Why
why
would
wouldn't
he
he just
fucking turn into a magic car?
You know what I think it
To
is?
begin with.
Right before he turns into a magic car, he sees a comet going by, a shooting star. And I'm thinking that activates his power because in the video game, if anybody has ever played the Moonwalker video game on Sega Genesis, if you find if you get the shooting star, you turn into like a big crazy android.
You know what
there's
that
some
shooting
subtext
star
I
probably
didn't pick up
was?
on.
A space alien coming to steal your adrenaline to sell it for drugs.
Yeah,
It probably was.
Yeah. It was Mateus Hughes.
Some guy's Mercedes just exploded down
Yeah.
the block.
And his, what was it, 600,000 piece of shit CD player
Yeah.
that shoots out frozen pizzas.
And
I come in peace, Michael Jackson.
I turn you into a car.
Oh, and all the time that he's running away from Michael Jackson, like, it's just a really bad voiceover of Joe Pesci, like, on the phone.
Yeah, being like, where is he? What's he doing?
Yeah.
I heard shooting. Did you get him?
Yeah, just very generic things that was like, Joe Pesci, this scene doesn't make any sense, so just say some stuff, we'll record it and put it in. What do you want me to say? Just whatever. We'll just put it in, and it will make 1,000 times more sense regardless of what you're saying.
Get Joe Pesci on the phone. We need him to record some lines over the phone.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Pesci kind of looked to me like, except with that without the hat was.
He didn't wear a hat. You mean his samurai
his hat.
hairdo?
He looked like Christopher Lloyd in Who Framed Roger Rabbit because he's got the same glasses and like the same outfit, kind of.
But did he talk just like this?
No,
It looks like he got squished. Like, instead of like rolled over by the bulldozer,
the
just
steamroller.
like vertically.
And that's
just
why
squished.
And
by
that's
it.
why he wears high heels in this movie.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah,
he
got the
wears
high
some
heels.
nice high heels.
And he knows how to walk in
Fancy.
them pretty well.
He does.
Hey, you know, that's what McDonald's did to me. You know what? You know what? You know
Put
what Joe
you in
Pesci would
heels?
say? Joe Pesci would tell me that they fucked me at the drive-thru. All right.
Gone Fishing. Are there any kids in Gone Fishing?
Oh man, yeah, Gone Fishing.
I
Anybody here
feel
seen
like
Gone
there aren't.
Fishing?
That's a good movie.
Well, they
Kind
were
of.
kids in the movie, but then they grew up.
Yeah,
so he didn't talk
but he
to
didn't
kids,
talk to
but
him.
That's
I don't know.
a good Joe Pesci movie. We're gonna have to do that soon.
So Joe Pesci's yelling at the producers on the phone who are recording it and then putting it into
This
the
is
movie
when
without his knowledge.
This is when was this the flashback? There was a
After the
flashback
car?
at some
Are
point.
you talking about them playing soccer?
We
Yeah.
should talk about
That
the
was like the
flashback.
first time we saw Joe Pesci and the kids.
Right.
It pans down from the moon
See, I
that
can't
we
even
think we're
keep
going into
track of it.
space. This could be completely wrong, but this is how my mind is piecing it together. The moon where we thought we were going into space, but no, we're just going to shitty 1930s London. And then he meets up with the kids.
The kids are up on top of the roof,
Right.
And they look down
And
from
they
the
see
roof,
Michael
and they see
Jackson.
Michael
Jackson's
Jackson
coming out of a
a
building.
door, and
Okay.
suddenly all these dudes with machine guns start shooting. At
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, like 50 guys.
Yeah.
And they do not touch Michael.
Not
He
a
just
one.
like jumps out of the way. And you're wondering, what could these guys have against Michael Jackson?
I think this is-
And then there's the flashback.
Yeah.
The kids and Michael Jackson are playing soccer
And
wrong.
by playing soccer, we mean holding a soccer ball and like spinning in circles, never kicking it.
They're playing
and-
football, except not like
You think that's what they're doing?
European football. They're
Like
playing
touch football.
kinda.
It's like they're playing football.
Bad
Yeah,
touch.
exactly.
football.
And then that's when the dog runs away with the ball, so Michael and the little girl try and find it, and that's when they
Oh,
find the
that's why they
secret
went away?
cave.
I thought he was just like, come with me, little girl.
No, he's going after the dog.
Okay.
Both would make
Sure.
sense given what we know about Michael Jackson now.
I'll
But
buy that.
Him and
They,
Macaulay
they
Culkin.
find the they find
We
this-
all have Macaulay Culkin shrines locked up in our houses somewhere, guys.
yeah.
Don't judge.
Who doesn't?
All right.
They find Joe Pesci's secret lair, which is legit like a secret lair.
Yeah.
Because he has the giant globe where he's trying to plant drugs all over the world.
It's like the
and
set of Carmen
henchmen
San
and-
Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting plungers on where he wants to sell drugs.
And we kind of already talked about that.
Yeah.
So anywho,
And then you
the-
go,
the
and then he
girl-
gets chased.
But the girl basically got a tarantula on her hand, so she screamed. Joe Pesci saw them, and obviously, since they have been to his secret lair, he has to kill them because they're the people that like know where his secret operation.
He's like,
is.
Michael Jackson, you sell my secret lair.
Michael Jackson doesn't sell drugs. He's got to die.
I feel like Michael Jackson would be a good customer for Joe Pesci's drugs, like in the real life.
He would be at least a good spokesperson.
Yeah. It's the drugs for a new generation.
Exactly. Way to
Space
go.
drugs.
Yeah. Space drugs. So that's when we cut to the chase part, and then he flies away as a car, and then the kids are somehow told by Michael to go to this crazy abandoned
club.
bar, and Michael shows up, and that's when you get the smooth criminal.
Because he time travels,
Thing.
but they don't.
Hold on.
Or is hallucinating.
Let's back up
Because
real
he
quick.
took space drugs.
Something that I can't seem to figure out is
The entire movie.
Yeah.
well, okay, this whole big mess is that when we first meet these kids, they look like they're homeless. They got dirt on their face. They're wearing ratty clothes.
When we first meet the little Michael Jackson, he's doing like the remake of the Bad video.
No, I'm not talking about them.
I thought it was the same kid. It's not?
It is actually, but
Yeah.
they don't acknowledge that the two things happen.
Are related, yeah.
It's just kind of a coincidence because they do the Bad video as
And then he
everyone is
becomes
kids,
homeless
and they're
after.
leaving the that particular studio. They're leaving that warehouse or whatever, and they go through smoke, and then they're all big again. They found the Zoltar machine, whatever, from Big, and they say, "I want to be big," and then they're big.
So they're unrelated events.
Yes,
Possibly.
absolutely.
Who knows? I'm sorry.
So
Little Michael Jackson has... No, he doesn't have facial hair. Damn, there goes that theory.
no, there's other people. There's other
Yeah.
little kids with mustaches and
But
painted
not little
on.
Michael Jackson. I was going
No.
to say that makes him completely different, but...
Yeah, Michael
doesn't
Jackson,
matter.
I don't even think can grow facial hair.
Not after his surgeries.
Not after Joe Jackson beat the facial hair off his face. Continue with your theories, Dan.
Go to the 30s bar?
You were saying?
Anywho, back about these kids. One thing that I can't seem to wrap my head around, besides the rest of this movie, is that when we first meet these kids, and for the majority of the movie when we see these kids, they look like they're homeless, okay? So they've got ratty clothes on and dirt on their face and things like that. But in this flashback, when they're hanging out with Michael Jackson, hanging out in the Sound of Music, like this big prairie land, they're all wearing nice clothes, everybody's clean, and, this and
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, what happened in between there and here? How come the kids are homeless now? And I mean,
Because not that much
Drugs.
time passed.
yeah, it doesn't seem
Because
like
the kids
it.
didn't age.
Was it the drugs and bugs? I mean,
It must
could
have
have
been.
been.
Those drugs and bugs act fast.
They're on the lam and didn't have enough time to pack.
I just couldn't
And
really.
where are their parents?
Where is anyone else besides these three kids, Michael Jackson, Joe Pesci, and all his goons?
Robo-Nazis.
Yeah. Nobody else is in this old
No.
London anywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's getting shot up and blown up.
After
Well,
the
there's people in
claymation people,
the-
no one.
There's people
Yeah.
in the club, but I don't know if they're a hallucination or
I think
not.
they're
They're
ghosts.
Yeah, they're ghosts.
Oh, are they?
I think they're
Yeah.
ghosts.
Okay. He shot a ghost then.
He did.
Point
And he
blank.
disappeared.
And he exploded. No, he fell out the door. Oh, I mean, he like burst through the wall
like,
because he
burnt
left
up.
the impression of like a cartoon.
Right.
I thought it was like a big burn.
No, I
It
thought,
was
as if it
I thought it
was
was a
like
hole
ashes.
leading outside.
So Michael
don't think
Jackson is a
so.
Ghostbuster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, levels and levels and levels.
Yep. We got to get our conspiracy theories on this one too.
Oh my God, they're
Anywho.
piling up. I'll
So-
write an essay about it.
So
I expect a 5-page essay
Oh,
due
it'll
on
be
Monday.
longer than that.
So Michael Jackson turns into
Single
this race
spaced.
car, goes up to the bar, and when so the kids go in the bar and it's all filled with cobwebs and it's gross.
And everyone touches the cobwebs with no problem.
Oh yeah,
Which really bothers
nobody
me.
That's
would do
most
that.
movies.
I know, but it
Most
doesn't make any
movies.
sense because
Yeah.
if I'm touching cobwebs, I'm not touching cobwebs.
I know.
It's gross.
It's so
my,
disgusting.
That's my one thing about Goonies. I love the movie The Goonies.
They just rub cobwebs on
Everybody's
their face.
covered in cobwebs. It's
Yeah, everyone's
disgusting.
covered in cobwebs. What the hell is the thing? The organ made out of bones. I'm not touching bones.
I would probably play the bone organ, but cobwebs are
You
gross.
kind of do
But
sometimes.
then again, if you knew that the
I'm really good at the
You're
bone organ,
really
guys.
good.
if you knew that the Fratellis are coming at you and they're gonna kill you, you don't care what you're gonna do.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Survive.
But if you're going in a shitty club, I mean, you can like find a ruler or something to
Pool cue.
Get them-
There's
yeah.
pool cue around.
that'll
Just
get
wave
rid of
that
all
thing
the
around.
cobwebs. Yeah.
So no one's in there and they leave, and Michael shows up, and there's a big burst of light, like he's going into the refrigerator in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's a big
And-
vacuum
uh-oh.
that blows smoke on him. Oh no.
Yay.
That's so gross.
Oh.
Oh, oh my God.
You're going to listen back and just
Are
be
you
like, what am I
okay?
doing?
Do we need to pause this? Should we call someone?
We didn't pause it for
or
the...
anything else? Any other disaster?
Yeah. We're just letting
This is life and
happen.
death, though. Dane could
Yeah.
be. This could be the last time we ever see him.
I think I lost half my weight just now.
That's a big
Ugh, you
fart.
shit your
In my-
pants.
I just lost my poo gas backpack.
Oh man.
So Michael goes in the bar, and there's all the ghosts, and they dance the Smooth Criminal. and he kills a ghost.
Yep. He Tommy guns people.
Yeah.
This is the second Tommy
He
gunning.
didn't
I think.
hit anyone though.
No, he killed the fuck out of people because
Yeah, I guess because they didn't shoot in. So all the Pesci goons surround the building. They didn't shoot inside though, which is weird. But
No.
Michael Jackson just pulls out a Tommy gun, shoots it, and just bolts
yeah. Where did the Tommy gun come from anyway?
the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, real quick,
I'll buy that.
before this happens, like some glass shatters, and there's like this what feels like an eternity of this scene in between the song
Oh,
where
yeah.
everything gets blue and it's quiet, and Michael Jackson he's
wanna
just nodding
relive
his head
that.
up and down and going ooh, and all the other people going they're just waving their hands like in slow motion, going wow.
It's like an interpretive dance performance
and it goes on for the longest
underwater,
time.
Yeah.
performed by amateur freshmen acting college students.
What it feels like to me, I don't know if anyone out there has taken
It
like
feels like I want to die.
that. If anyone's taken like an improv class or something, it's like a really long form, annoying improv exercise where you can't communicate to anyone else in the group with like words, and you have to like loosen your body and be weird and ugh.
With a yes ending.
No, because you can't say yes and they're and and then it all of a sudden goes back into Smooth Criminal, which I thought was done,
Yeah.
but they do another rendition of Smooth Criminal right after that.
Maybe they were just all in agony because they're all ghosts.
Maybe
I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been a ghost thing.
It was
I don't know.
shit.
Ghosts do that.
It's one of them ghost
Ghosts love
things.
Smooth Criminal.
So
Yeah.
when they're dancing to Smooth Criminal, the little girl gets kidnapped by Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
And
but not
brings
the other
her-
ones. The other ones are just gone.
Yeah.
they like
Well, it's
split.
because they were smooth criminal. They were smooth criminaling in the other alleyway.
Totally.
I feel like Smooth Criminalin'.
New to the menu, Smooth Criminalin'.
Don't give your kid Ritalin. Give him smooth criminaling.
So he can sell Ritalin. And I don't know where we are.
Girl gets stolen. Joe Pesci takes her to this big, like,
His lair?
complex.
Compound.
Yeah, it's compound. That's a good.
The raptors are loose.
Yes. And makes Michael Jackson come for her.
What?
Makes.
Do you want to rephrase that?
Yes,
Kevin?
I do.
Michael Jackson shows up.
Michael
there you
Jackson
go.
shows up to rescue her.
Okay.
Better?
From the cum she doesn't have on her face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gross. And that's when Joe Pesci hits her, and it's so painful.
Yeah, it looks like he really hit her.
Yeah. He was probably
The
really
director's
pissed
probably
off
like,
at her.
Go for it. She can take a hit. Just hit her. I want it to be real. Punch her in the face.
Yeah. It was uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
yeah.
And that's when all the...
Which is weird because
there's
this
like
entire movie's
100 goons that come out with their guns pointed at Michael Jackson. And that's when he decides, oh, I'm going to go full on Mecha Jackson.
But did he see a
Mecha Michael
so
Jackson.
did he see a shooting star, Dane, before he turned into Mecha Jackson?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Okay.
He did.
There you have it.
Yep. There we
I
go.
just realized
That's the
this-
secret.
You know,
This
most shooting
movie's-
stars are satellites.
I just realized that this movie's not rated.
Really?
There's no rating on this box.
I mean, what could you rate it?
We'll rate it later.
NC-17?
Can you imagine the MPAA people like sitting down to watch this movie, just like a chair
I'm
of
sure
like
they've had to watch
17 old people?
Different stuff.
Yeah. Oof. This is wild. Unrated, the uncensored Moonwalker.
Basically, he turns into like the Terminator and starts killing a ton of these
He
goons.
turns into like Voltron.
Yeah.
Oh no, but he doesn't have a giant sword. He has rockets built into him, and he
And
blows everyone up.
lasers.
Yeah, and
Yep.
lasers.
And force field, because the Robo Nazis tried to shoot him, but he has like this like Panzer Dragoon force field up.
field.
And then they have lasers.
Yeah, they have lasers, and their bullets don't affect the force field, but their lasers start to destroy the force field, and then they start to hurt Robo Michael Jackson, and he goes, "Ah!" and
Oh, and he blows up their faces. Their whole heads explode
Yes.
from the sound of his voice.
right, yeah, that's what he does.
And
Oh
Joe
my
Pesci's
God.
the only one who survives.
Why? Why does his head survive?
I don't know.
His head is tuned to a
You
different
know what I was
frequency.
kinda
Why did the
hoping?
kids' heads explode?
You know how so he
Because they weren't wearing helmets.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe it
They are the
reverberated
only ones not
inside
wearing
the
helmets,
helmet.
yeah.
You know how Joe Pesci put his stupid little sunglasses back on and
Yeah.
took off and went inside and closed the doors? I was hoping he would come back out in a robot suit, like Ripley and Aliens.
Oh my
and try to
God,
fight
that
him
would
like
be
that.
so
I thought that was
good.
just the end of Joe Pesci. He's like, nah, I give up. See you guys.
That would be amazing.
And it's like, the end. I guess. But then he jumps into this massive cannon thing he has. So Michael Jackson decides,
Death Ray.
all right, well, he's got a giant cannon. I'll turn into a spaceship.
I'll see your cannon and raise you a spaceship.
And then blows up Joe Pesci and flies away.
Yeah, you just you think he's gonna save the kids? He just explodes Joe Pesci, saves the day, and he's like, fuck these kids, they're fine. I'm
Peace
gonna
out.
fly off into space now and blow up.
So the
Yeah,
kid,
in the
he
atmosphere.
gets hit by the comet and turns
Yeah.
into fireworks.
yeah. So the kids are all sad, and then they're crying in the street because they're the only people left on Earth.
Yeah, and
And
there's
then-
only one girl,
Yeah.
so she's in for a hell of a time.
And Michael Jackson shows back up, and that's the end. They're all happy, and literally that is the end.
Well, there's one.
No,
part,
he takes them to a show. He takes them back to
Oh,
the crappy
God, I totally
1930s.
forgot about
this
that.
movie
You
does
been?
not end ever.
No.
It's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah, and he
well
takes them to get
before
some
this
Pepsi.
part, I was like, man, is this movie not over? It feels like it's super long.
Oh my God, it took forever.
Yeah, so he takes them back to the club, but now there's another space vacuum and fog, and then they're backstage at the original concert that was playing at the beginning. And then he ignores them again and plays
It passes him off
that
to
song
child
from the
services or
Beatles
who knows.
because he stole all the Beatles discography. So now he's just taunting them by doing a cover of their song. What is it? Come Together right now,
Something
whatever,
like that.
whatever it's called. And he's playing with Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah. And
And-
that's it. And that song goes on forever.
That's a long song.
Yeah.
You got a guy on a guitar and a guy with no neck on his bass, and
Nobody's playing
the
their
Gem and the
instruments.
Holograms are there.
And the octagon shaped
the
man,
electric
the electric
drums?
drums
Yeah,
were
electric
the
drums.
best.
yeah. Best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, right before this, though, there was one part that was really concerning me, and I thought that this movie was going into an interesting direction, but it didn't happen because
This
So-
movie was getting interesting for a moment.
right when Michael Jackson pops back up after his little space explosion, and they're like, "Hey, Michael, hey, Michael," and he's like, "Hey, kids, come with me. I want to show you something." So they're walking in this really
they're in a sewer.
it's like some kind of it looked to me a lot like the underground lair that Joe Pesci was in, and Michael Jackson's just like, "Okay, kids, just go this way." And they're like, "Hey, Michael, where are you taking me?" He's like, "Well, don't worry about it. Just keep going." And they're like, "Hey,
Don't worry about
what's that thing I hear? Hey, you didn't hear anything. Just keep going. No, just go up here." You know, so basically, it seemed like he kept putting off whatever their concerns were. Just be like, "No, just trust me. Just go down here." So it makes me think okay, there's something wrong with Michael Jackson. Maybe it's Joe Pesci in disguise. Who knows? Maybe this movie's about to take a crazy turn, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's something wrong with Michael Jackson, but no, they're just backstage.
That would have been a much better ending. Because,
Right?
well, I mean, if you think of it, maybe that is what happened and it just wasn't revealed. Because Michael Jackson gets exploded in the sky, so he's pretty much dead.
That's why I thought that whoever this was, it was an imposter, because I figured, there's no way he survived that crazy comet collision explosion.
Yeah.
You know?
So you could be right. We just don't see him turn back into Joe Pesci because he's fully formed into Michael Jackson. And everyone knows that Michael Jackson is basically just a skin suit that comes on and off anyway.
Like Edgar in Men in Black.
Yeah. So it's probably is Joe Pesci.
No, I don't know, because I don't think Joe Pesci could have those smooth moves that
It comes with the suit. The skin suit is
comes with the suit.
pre-programmed.
Is it kind of like Earthworm Jim with the suit?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can program the suit.
Yeah, it gives him super strength, but this gives him super dance moves.
Right.
And
It
turns
makes him
into
really
a
super strong. Right?
plane or something. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's our fan theory here, Bandits, that Michael Jackson in this movie is actually Joe Pesci in disguise. So somehow Joe Pesci,
Because the drugs that Joe Pesci takes makes him invincible.
so he didn't blow up.
The Joe Pesci that blew up was just a bunch of drug spiders.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was a skin suit of Joe Pesci filled with spiders.
Made out of spiders.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
We are getting somewhere with this.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
we're correct.
Think about that. He could have had Moonwalker Part 2. Think about it.
Oh, my
He should have
goodness.
done a Moonwalker
return of
Part
Joe
2.
Pesci.
Like in the 90s or something when he had his big
Moonwalker
resurgence.
2.
We've got to find a
Walking
way
on the moon.
to connect
Yeah.
Moonwalker with Gone Fishing.
Oh my
Gone
God.
Fishing could be Moonwalker 2.
Gone-
And Danny Glover is little Michael Jackson all grown up.
That's
Think
a little
about
bit
it,
of a
guys.
stretch.
Is it called Gone Moonwalking or is it called Gone Fishing
On the moon. It's called I Have a Lit Cigarette Under the Sea on the cover.
That's right.
Or cigar. Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a great movie. We should just go watch Gone Fishing instead.
Yeah.
I'm deleting this podcast.
Don't do
Good
that.
practice, guys.
So that's the movie. And then there's like during the credits there's just some behind the scenes of the
There's more
making of the
concert
movie.
footage.
Oh, I totally zoned out for that. That's my fault.
And that's the
Butterfingers.
movie. That is Michael Jackson Moonwalker. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think, guys?
Any factoids over here?
Um, yeah. Let's
By the
look
way,
on
Kevbot's
IMDb.
birthday was the other day. Wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Kidbot.
Thanks. I'm so
don't sound too
excited
happy.
that I'm not in my 20s anymore.
And we're spending New
You went
Year's
right to
Eve
45.
at
I
his
did.
house.
Yeah, don't show up to my house, please.
Are
I
you
mean,
talking
you
to us?
guys were invited, but like, yeah.
Don't worry. This is going to be airing
Be there.
after New Year's
Okay,
Eve.
cool.
Kevbot lives at.
No, on the moon.
He lives on the moon, yeah.
That's all right.
Go
We'll have
take your
to-
space drugs. It's going to be.
If we say it, we'll have to do an all caps edit to take it out.
That would be a big bad
Big
mistake.
bad.
If you
Big bad.
have no idea what they're talking about, it's the whiteboard in my room where I put down stuff I need to do, and then they just yell it at me.
Big bad.
So he had a
So-
check mark in all caps that said "Big Bad," and we're like, "Ooh, Big Bad, Big
And
Bad."
Big Bad's a band that I
All
needed
caps
music
it
for my
Yeah.
movie. Okay,
And then-
so
and
that's
then he-
why they're.
And then he
Pulling my
wrote
chain.
edit.
Foley.
He wrote edit in all caps. So I'm like, "Ooh, all caps edit." And then he wrote Foley.
Topher's a butthead.
Who wrote? Somebody wrote
Sam.
Topher's a butthead.
Yeah.
Sam did.
Sam did.
Shout out to Sam for calling Topher a butthead.
Big bad butthead. And then
Oh god, I shouldn't have brought this up.
No,
and then
you
it says,
shouldn't.
and then it says Foley, and he makes his F's look like a 7 with a little line in it. So we call it 7 Foley.
Needless to say, I erased the entire thing.
Needless to say, he also hates us. Some
Really big
interesting
bad.
facts. I'll just kind of go through the short ones on IMDb. Michael Jackson originally wanted the release of this movie in theaters. In
Oh,
the
it
United
wasn't
States,
in theaters
but due to budget problems, was forced
due to being fucking terrible
to make
and
it straight
weird.
to video release. But I remember
Really?
watching this on VH1 like 18 million times.
Yeah.
Frankie,
bad.
Mr. Big, Ladio was never addressed as Mr. Big,
No,
nor
not
referred
once.
to by his name except when he says his own name because he wants his name spelled right.
By who? By the way, who's spelling the spiders? The tarantulas? Are gonna
his
spell his name?
secretary. I don't know.
Who is a
All of
tarantula?
his nameless goons, obviously.
I guess
Exactly.
so.
And his name is does come from the executive producer Frank DeLeo, which is why it's pronounced Frank Ladio, who's
Oh, clever.
Michael Jackson's longtime manager. During the Speed Demon dance-off, yeah, we got that. He was Pee-wee, he was Sylvester Stallone, he was a generic traffic cop. Oh, it was Tina Turner, whatever.
I didn't notice.
The Tina Turner one was like 2 seconds.
Oh, it was Janet
Um,
Jackson.
It's reported the spontaneous gunshots by Michael Jackson's character after Smooth Criminal was improvised by Jackson himself.
Wow.
Who used a fictional Tommy gun and fired blanks to surprise everyone on and off the set. just popping shots.
What a
Wow.
creative
Just
mind.
popping shots. And
I
then
think
there's
I'm
a
gonna
few
use
other
Tommy
ones,
gun
but
and
we
shoot
kind of
everybody.
talked about some of them, and they're just not that interesting.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 33 minutes, and it felt so much longer.
Oh, yeah.
It's unrated. There's like 6 people in this movie.
How did Joe Pesci get involved in this movie at all? Is what I
He
want
needed
to know.
a paycheck, I bet.
But I feel like Joe Pesci was probably like coming off of Goodfellas or something at this point. When did Goodfellas come out?
Well, I think Rush Hour 2 and 3 were around this time.
This is-
so
What?
What? This is 1988.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
thinking
what time-
Lethal Weapon?
What did I say?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
I'm sorry. What the hell am I
It's like
talking about?
2001.
Rush Hour. Hey, come on, man. Hey, man.
Goodfellas
No,
is 1990.
no, I'm talking about Lethal Weapon.
Casino's 1995. Let's
Oh,
see,
okay.
when's
So maybe
Lethal
this is
Weapon?
pre-Casino and pre-Goodfellas.
Let's look at the time.
Raging Bull?
Here.
That's Bobby De Niro. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but
I don't
Joe
think
Pesci's in it too.
Is he? I didn't
He's
think
his like
so.
manager.
Around this, he did Man on Fire, Legendary Life of Ernest Hemingway,
Oh,
no,
man.
whoa.
and
You
then
got
a
me
year later
excited.
was Lethal Weapon 2, and then a year after that was Home Alone. So this is before he like really made it big.
Before he was Joe
Gotcha.
Pesci.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, what would you rate this out of 10 tarantulas, and would you rewind it?
Oh man.
It's a tough call.
I think I'm gonna give it 6 tarantulas and not rewind it until someone specifically asks me to watch it. Or like what I'd say is like I'll rewind it, but only 40 minutes of it. And all you need to do is watch the last half hour or whenever Joe Pesci comes in, that's the only part you need to see. The other stuff is like it's interesting and like cool and weird, but that's gonna drag and be not super fun unless you're high with Joe Pesci drugs from space. But the Joe Pesci stuff is actually like super entertaining, and Michael Jackson robots and stuff are very interesting. So like that part would get probably an 8, but the everything else knocks it down 2 points.
That's fair.
That was a long assessment. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You were defending your rating. That's good. Dane Train. Now it's starting
you're
to wear off.
crashing from your
sugar
holiday
crash from my
shake.
eggnog.
Yeah, you were flipping
You
off
need
the
more
walls
eggnog.
earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
How many tarantulas?
I would give this movie 5 tarantulas out of 10.
Ooh.
And that is because I only liked half the movie. I could have skipped the entire beginning of this movie with all the music video stuff. I could have gone with. I could have started right where he puts on his bunny costume and then skipped the other music videos in between that, and then got all to the Joe Pesci Smooth Criminal stuff, and then ended right after he turned into fireworks. He got blown up by a comet at the end. Boom. That's it. That's all that I would want to do. Other than that, I could, all the other, like even like the super long thing right after that with all the music, and I just, with the Beatles song, like I'm done. I wanted to watch him transform the kooky crazy stuff, and that's all I needed. So
I think it should be said, like, none of us are like super Michael Jackson fans, right?
that's correct.
So if you are a super Michael Jackson fan, you might actually want to watch the entire thing.
I mean, the problem for me is like it's just like a big rehash of stuff that he's already done.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if this was like a movie starring a music star, but it's like a legit movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wish it wasn't all like, I wish that the entire movie was about him as this Michael Jackson fictional character who's running away
Like
from Joe
Purple
Pesci.
Rain or something
like
like that.
Purple Rain.
Okay.
Exactly.
I actually wanted to bring that up, but I'll talk about
one
it
of the-
after this.
Is
So-
this
We should do
what they
Purple Rain.
mentioned in the earlier in the movie
No.
when they're on the lot, on like the movie lot, and little baby Michael Jackson is like, "Hey, I want you." He's talking to like his butler or whatever. He's like, "Go down to McDonald's and get me some pie," and then like the tourists are coming in. And he's like, "What are they wearing?" And then his butler's like, "One of them's got a Prince shirt," and he's like, "Oh man, a Prince shirt." Purple Rain. That's all I wanted to
Yeah.
mention. They mentioned Prince.
Yes. Okay, so Dane would give it 5 out of 10.
5 tarantulas out of 10.
All right.
What would
Cool,
you
cool.
give just that second half, though? Is that a 10 and the rest of it's a 0?
I would give that second half. Oh God, I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Wow.
It was because again, I like weird, like just off the wall, out of left field kind of junk. And if Michael Jackson, literally, you can't expect
Off the
this,
wall.
where he just turns into a car, then he turns into a robot, starts laser beaming people. I mean, like, we're talking
comes up with this
off,
crap?
This is off the wall, and I like stuff like that. So,
As it should be. That was one of his albums.
Oh, was it?
Off the Wall.
Okay.
oh
Yeah.
wow, what a coincidence! I had no
know,
idea.
I know.
Bananas. Is one of his albums called Bananas?
No.
Ah.
Is one of his albums called "I Have a Secret Shine" of child
Macaulay
pornography
Culkin.
and Macaulay Culkin in my bedroom?
That was one of his later ones. It had not been made
That was the
yet.
Holograms
Yeah.
album.
Exactly.
That's his 90s greatest hits right there.
Yeah.
What would you
Oh,
rate it, Kevin?
Hey, thanks for asking. I would give it a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
I know. I
this
did not
is-
like the first half.
Oh man.
Second half was only okay for him turning into things. I don't really care for it. Like, it was okay. I wouldn't rewind it. If it was on TV and there was literally nothing else on, I'd watch it.
That's how I saw it first.
Yeah.
It's a really good like background movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you
well,
clean
because
the
the
house or
first half
something.
is just like,
It's mostly music. So.
yeah, exactly. Like if you're gonna watch digital cable and you got, like the music channels.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, this one also has the fireplace, so it plays music and looks crazy on my TV. So, all right, what do you guys think? Which one came up? The IMDb rating is
Like,
out
It's gonna be
of
rough because
10.
it might be a bunch of Michael Jackson fans rating
Yeah,
it.
I feel like the internet would love it and give it like a 5 out of 5.
This
Oh,
is out of
wait.
10. This is IMDb.
Oh, but 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I'm
Dane
gonna
Trace is 10 out of
say
10.
I'm gonna say 7.5.
6 out of 10.
Ooh, you were right on your rating. You're the wait, no.
No, you were right.
You
I
were
was
close.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you gave it a 5? Oh, yeah.
You gave it a 10 out of 10. Yeah. So what do you think the Amazon rating is? And that's out of 5.
That's probably 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
4.6.
Ooh, that's very close.
Yes.
Very close.
So one of the things I wanted to bring up, and this is also kind of a segue into our newer segment, which I totally am for blanking on the name, where we shout out. Yeah, cheap plugs.
Yeah,
I even came up with the name.
Plugs.
So I want to give a shout out to Unpopular Opinion, who they pretty much have no clue who I am except for my friend Jeff May. But they had.
So he does know who you are.
Well, he does, but it's hosted by Adam Todd Brown. He's a very funny guy. I love their podcast. I think it's great. But they had an episode where he and another person who please forgive me, I forget his name, had a debate who was a better artist, who was a better star, who was superior, Prince or Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Prince sucks.
Okay, see, that's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
And it came down to things like, what's a better movie, Moonwalker or Purple Rain? Like, Purple Rain is a far superior movie than this because it's an actual movie.
But it's boring as shit.
But it's an actual movie.
Yeah.
It can hold my attention the whole way through.
Let me ask you this. Does Prince turn into a giant robot?
No, but it has Morris Day. Morris
Okay.
Day in the time.
You've got me there.
Yeah.
Because Prince can't hold his own, so he's got to have other bands. Fill
This
in
movie
for
had
him.
Joe Pesci, so
Yeah, I mean, come on.
anyway, that's the cheap plug for this week because I feel it relates, and also I really enjoy that podcast. I think it's really great. So check out Unpopular Opinion. They're on Twitter. They're on Podbean. They're on iTunes, not Instagram. I don't know if they're on Instagram. So let us know what you think, Prince or Michael Jackson, Moonwalker or Purple Rain. Dane, do you have an
They're
opinion
both
on this?
dead now, so like,
That's
no matter
true.
what you say, it's like kind of mean. Like
No.
what I just said.
I wouldn't say it's mean.
No, you can. All right. I just putting it out there.
Yeah.
We're not judging you, so
Well,
speak freely.
I gotta say, like, again, movies, I think Purple Rain is better, but
Another
think
VH1
Michael-
movie.
I
Tune
think
into
Michael
VH1, you'll see
Jackson
both of
has
these.
better songs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a dime in the bucket and say "cool as ice" with
Oh
Vanilla
man,
Ice.
I gotta see that.
All right.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Oh,
I think it's on
that's
Amazon.
on VH1 all the time as
Is it
well.
really?
Or it was, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And
you
US
wanna
watched
talk about-
Celebrity Rehab.
Oh my goodness. That reminds me, I have to make a correction to not our previous episode, but an episode before that. Our good buddy Big J Sully, John Sullivan, pointed out in our Santa with Muscles episode.
Clint Howard wasn't actually Clint Howard.
No, Clint Howard stopped by last
Who shaved his
episode.
head.
The show that Hulk Hogan was on, which
Thunder in Paradise?
Thunder in Paradise was on TNT, not USA Network. I said USA Network, which was very, very wrong.
We got
You've
caught
been-
by the nerd.
Wow. Jeez.
So thanks, John.
It's like if we were at a convention and they're giving us all those nitpicky questions.
Actually,
You're like, it's just a podcast, you know?
just had to correct. Just had to correct it. I said
Yeah,
I
someone was
would.
like trying to turn on like USA on demand, trying to watch Thunder in Paradise from 30
I know.
years ago.
I provided false information.
Now they just have to go to TNT, Tyler Perry's TNT, and look
Yeah.
for Tyler Perry's Thunder in Paradise.
Medea in Paradise.
Yeah.
Thunder in Medea.
Ugh. Gross.
So that's pretty much it with Moonwalker.
I think so.
Yeah. That was quite the experience. I'm not going to lie.
Indeed.
Do you want to talk about Captain EO at all, Dane?
Oh, man. Okay.
Before we
let's talk
sign
about
off.
Captain EO real quick. So, all right. So, what do I think is better, Captain EO or Moonwalker? I'm going to go with Captain EO hands down, mostly because...
What is
all right,
Captain EO?
For those of you who don't know what Captain EO is...
Real quick, in a nutshell.
Real quick, there was like it's like a ride, not really a ride, but it's a you go to a movie theater at Disney World at Epcot down in Florida, and it was this like I don't know how long it is, like a half an hour long.
Is it like the Muppet thing where it's like a 4D experience?
Yes,
where-
yeah, it's a 3D
All right.
movie, yeah,
Did the
kind of like
chairs
the
move?
Muppets. The what?
The chairs move.
No.
Okay.
No, unlike my bowels.
Gross.
You know, so
Hopefully not where you're sitting right now.
oh boy. So
That's
basically
not a no.
basically there's a movie theater that just plays this movie, and you know, and it was this movie called Captain EO. It was about a half an hour movie that was made in the 80s. It's a Michael Jackson movie. It was like directed by Martin Scorsese. It's got like all these big
No,
names
Francis
attached.
Ford
I'm
Coppola.
sorry. Thank you. Yeah, we want John super fan, super nerd to get on our case.
John.
Colonial superfans.
John, screw you.
So
And your right information.
so
I love you.
So he, okay. So basically, Francis Ford Coppola directed it, and there's some big names attached to it, and it's this 3D movie about Michael Jackson plays Captain EO, and he's this guy who runs this like Star Wars kind of spaceship, and it's like Pee-wee's Playhouse. It's all filled with all kinds of weird little puppets and stuff. It's like how Pee-wee's Playhouse had like Conky and Cherry and Flory. Well, this one's kind of got the same thing. Where you got like the robot, you got the little fuzzy guy that flies around.
You have Magic Screen.
Yeah,
You
right.
have John B.
Yeah,
Flory,
they're all
Terry,
there. So you got all these.
The King of Cartoons shows up.
Yeah.
Ricardo,
The Countess.
the Countess,
Randy.
Reba the mail lady, Miss Yvonne,
Whoopi
Yvonne.
Goldberg sometimes.
The puppets of Puppet Land.
Frankie and Annette Funicello,
Yeah.
making Christmas cards out of potatoes.
The Rubio triplets. Anywho.
Yeah.
So you got all these.
They're all in Captain
so,
EO.
so you got all these puppets and Muppets these two conjoined twins that remind me of like Station from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Anywho, they crash land on this like shitty planet, and there's like this queen who's like right out of like an H.R. Giger painting, and she's like, "Put them in my dungeon," and
That's
friggin'
Go in the dungeon.
Captain EO friggin'
Going
like,
to the dungeon.
Captain EO goes and he starts turning all this ladies, henchmen, goons into choreographed dancers. And next thing you know, there's this whole big song and dance number, and the evil H.R. Giga monster lady turns into
Like a princess.
she's like a princess, and she's played by the same lady who she was like the main witch in The Witches. Have you seen that?
I have.
No.
Yeah.
I think she looked better as the Giger monster, though.
Yeah, I agree. Anywho, it's whatever it is. It's
And there's
like,
an elephant in a wife beater
yeah.
as one of the monsters.
This already
No.
sounds better than Moonwalker.
It
Now-
is pretty entertaining,
You
and
can-
it's shorter.
Now you can find this in
I'm all for
regular
that.
2D on YouTube. Now, unfortunately, you can't see this in 3D anymore because last year they got rid of the Captain EO theater. Believe it or not, I was one of the last people to go in there. I was on
Dean
my
Train
honeymoon.
was the very last person.
Not the very last.
The
No.
very last.
I
He
was-
said,
I
I'm
was-
staying here
no.
until it's done.
And then he farted, and they're like, "We have to condemn this place."
I went,
Actually, he pooped himself.
I went there on my honeymoon, and literally, it's like as soon as we got to Disney, we went into Epcot, and I was like, first thing I'm doing, fucking going to Captain EO. Literally, it was like one of the friggin' first things we did.
What was Gina's response to that?
That's my wife. So we went to Captain EO, and I fucking loved it. It was the best. I went bananas over it, and she was like, "Yeah, that was kind of neat." And that was it. And literally, like by the end of the week that we stayed there, they took down the sign and everything, and that was it. So luckily, I was one of the last people to see it in 3D at Disney World.
Ooh,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Sweet. That sounds pretty cool.
November
I'll have
of
to
last year. so.
have to YouTube it. Maybe we'll post
Yeah.
it on our Facebook.
Yeah, we should. Oh, you know what else I wanted to post real quick for those of you? You remember on our last episode we were talking about Muppet Family Christmas and all the deleted scenes?
Yes.
They're on YouTube, so I will post
What?
those on YouTube. So
That's
in
awesome.
case you guys are like,
Ooh.
oh man, because otherwise you're never gonna be able to find them.
That's right.
So
that is true.
I'll pop those suckers on there for you
Hey, you're such a good
on
guy.
the
Dane.
Facebooks,
on the Facebooks.
which is facebook.com/the VHS Bandits.
Hey.
What else do we have, guys?
We got a Twitter. You can follow us.
at.
The VHS Bandits.
Although
Yes.
I notice our Twitter thing isn't very active. We got to get on that.
Yeah, more people got to follow us.
Yeah.
Or
Instagram, which has been
Instagram is
a
the
lot
shit.
better.
Yes. Or you can follow us on Instagram at the VHS.
Just
Just-
VHS Bandits.
Not
Yeah.
just it's at VHS Bandits.
Or
I think it's
hashtag
not
VHS
the
Bandits to
VH
find us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We got a Gmail account in case if you do want to talk about Purple Rain or Cool as Ice or any of these movies.
Yep.
We're at the
VHS Bandits at gmail.com. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're also on we're also on Tinder.
We're also on twincest.com.
We're on
Yeah.
Tinder.
We're on Tinder. Don't forget to swipe.
Are we on
Swipe
coffee
right.
and bagel or tea and bagel, whatever it's called?
I don't know what that means.
It's a
I don't
dating,
either.
it's a dating app, coffee bagel.
We're on jdate.com.
Yeah, J-Swipe.
Happy Hanukkah.
J-Swipe.
J-Swipe? Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not on there. I just know it's a thing.
We're on RedTube. About RedTube.
Probably.
Dorf is on RedTube.
Oh my God! How do you know that?
Because I looked for Dorf on RedTube.
Gets that
Oh,
Dorf.
Yeah.
Dorf. Hey guys, we got a very special episode coming up next, so stay tuned. We have a very special guest who's going to be on this show.
Don't want to miss
That's
it.
right.
And we're very psyched about
I totally
it.
forgot about it.
Very, very special guest.
Yes.
All right.
We're
Michael
very
Jackson.
excited. Yay.
We're digging up his grave and
Close
putting
enough.
electrodes to his brain.
They both have dark curly hair.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Are we not
cool.
allowed to say the special guest?
It's a surprise.
Okay,
Yes,
it's a
We'll
surprise.
surprise him. So,
All right.
if you have made it this far into the episode, because we've lost track of time, thanks for listening. Hopefully, you are still with us because you love us and we love you.
Yeah.
So, I am the Kevbot. One of you guys?
I am the Topher Hansen.
And
I am the Dane Train.
awesome. We are the VHS Bandits. Thanks for listening to episode 21, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. As always, be kind and rewind.